Hey everyone, welcome to this video. I'm Inxlaura123 and this is going to be a book tag. So this tag was created by me. So it's an original book tag. If you would like to do the tag, like if you would like to join in, I would love that so much. So yeah, please, if you do a video of this tag, yeah, leave a comment down below with a link to the video and I'd love to come and watch you and, you know, find out your answers because I'm quite intrigued to find out people's answers to the questions in the tag. Also, you are all officially tagged. I'm not going to like individually tag people. If you want to do the tag, do the tag. But obviously if you do, just please kind of say that I was the creator and stuff and maybe put a link to my channel. Simple as that. So there's not that many questions. I'm going to be answering the questions as well. Can I just address the fact that I'm very red? I don't, apart from my t-shirt being red, I am very red and I'm literally, my face is burning and I've got these kind of like, can you see like hives come up on my neck? I don't even know why because it's not even like, it's not even that hot in here. It's really odd. But I just want to kind of put that out there in case you're like, whoa, that girl is red. Yeah, I don't know what it is. But anyway, so I have the questions here on my laptop next to me. The tag is called the will not book tag. Okay, the will not book tag. So you'll kind of get the gist of how to do it as we go along. But it's literally answering with will not of the different questions. Okay, so the first question is a controversial author you will read and a controversial author you will not read. Okay, there we go. You get me what I'm doing? Okay, cool. Right, so my answers. A controversial author that I would read is Cassandra Clare. So I'm not going to go into the whole kind of controversy about, you know, whatever she did, if she did it, whatever. But I know that there is some kind of stuff said about her. If you look into it, you can feel free. I think it was something to do with her kind of, you know, taking the ideas of a story from someone back in the day or so. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I love her books. The Mortal Instruments is without a doubt my favourite series of all time. Like, I love the series so much. The characters, the world building, the magic, it's just amazing. So I absolutely adore Cassandra Clare. And, you know, I've seen a lot of people say horrible things about her and, you know, it's up to them. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion and I totally get that. But for me, I love her. I love her books and I can't wait for the next one, which hopefully won't be long until that's out. But yeah, so that is my answer to the will read, controversial author, Cassandra Clare. The will not read, I would not touch it with a barge pole. I would not read any book wrote by Roald Dahl. So if you didn't know, because a lot of people don't actually know this, right? Google it up, Google or any other search engine out there. It's you know, it's fact. Roald Dahl was an anti-Semite. Okay, and it's not like it's like, you know, oh, back in the day people thought, no, he was an anti-Semite till literally like his last years. He was still kind of saying horrible, vile stuff. I'm not going to go into now. Now, I am Jewish myself, but even if I wasn't Jewish, I still wouldn't feel comfortable reading a book from someone who is an anti-Semite because it's just horrible. And as I say, if you look into it, you'll find out the horrible things that he said, and it's like, And I do get upset, I'll be honest with you, I do get upset when people, especially on booktube or whatever, talk about books, and they kind of rave about, oh, look at this Roald Dahl book, you know, and I'm like, now, these people probably do know as well. Not all of them, but some of them do know what he said and they just don't seem to care. And I do find that quite upsetting, to be fair. But as I say, everyone is entitled to their own views and likes and dislikes. But for me, there is no way I would ever read anything by Roald Dahl, ever. Next question is a book genre you will read, and a book genre you will not read. Okay, so a book genre you will read and a book genre you will not read. So I mean, it's hard for me because I love so many different genres. I read this, I read that, you know, I love the mixture of things. But I've chosen thrillers for the will read because I love reading thrillers. I become like a detective when I read them, you know, trying to figure out the baddie and what happened and stuff. So thrillers I will read. The genre that I wouldn't read, like I will not read, is gonna probably be, I'd have to say like erotica. I know a lot of people love it, but for me personally, like I'm not a prude or anything by any means, but like I just feel really uncomfortable and awkward and just cringe when I read stuff like that. A few romances that I've read, you know, over the years, they've been a bit, what is it, smutty. And look, don't get me wrong, I don't mind a little bit of smut, but when it's just like full on, like, it's just like too much information, don't need to know, it's just, makes me very uncomfortable. Maybe I'm a bit of a prude as I'm getting older, I don't know, but I've just never really enjoyed that kind of style, you know, that genre of naughtiness in a book. But yeah, there we go. All right, next up. Okay, so a book related item you will and will not purchase. Okay, so for me, I want something that can light up a book without having to wake up my other half when it's dark. So basically, when we go to bed at night, obviously it's dark in the room, lights are off, but I sometimes awake and I want to read, and obviously I can't have the light on because it'll wake him up, which is, you know, fair enough. That's pretty fair enough. So I've got one of these, like, I don't know what to call it. It kind of wraps around my neck like a scarf, but it's got like a light and a little switch on it, and I can, you know, read the page downwards and stuff, which is great. But sometimes I don't actually want it around my neck. I just want something to kind of clip on. So I will buy one of those little tiny, like, mini clip-on light torch thingies, I don't know, that goes onto the actual book. So that's an item I will buy. Will not buy is probably going to have to be a little reading timer. The thing is, right, a few months ago, I was so keen on getting a reading timer, and I was like, I want a reading timer to help me, you know, kind of, I don't know, just to give me a little bit of motivation, like, you know, I've set my goal to, like, I want to read for an hour, or I'm going to read for half an hour, and I have my little reading timer, or just out of curiosity, how long have I read for? Let's put the read time. So I was going to buy one. I saw some super cute ones. There's a really nice one in Waterstones. There's some really nice ones on eBay, etc. But I didn't get it because then I was like, why would I waste money on this? Because I could just look at the clock on the wall, or I could just look on my phone. You know, it just seemed, it seemed a bit of a pointless thing to do, but there are still some cute ones. Okay, so the next question in the tag. So, I mean, you can be, it's up to you with this one. You can be either for the author or the book. So this one is popular book / author you will not read. Okay, so yeah, as I say, it's up to you. You can do the author one or the book one. For me personally, I'm going to go with the author. So a popular author that I will read is Colleen Hoover. I haven't read it yet. I've got Verity next door in my bedroom to read. And she's like this author that's like everyone's raving about, right? Anyone, you know, on booktube or like different book groups that I'm in on Facebook and what have you, just raving and raving about Colleen Hoover books. So she's very popular. Her books are very popular, and I can't wait to, you know, kind of get on the hype train of her books, and I'm really looking forward to read Verity. Another popular author that I will not read is Sally Rooney. I'm not going to kind of go into it all, but there are reasons why I don't want to read her. But also, I tried one of her books once, like about 2-3 years ago, and I literally DNF'd it. It was so dull. It was so boring. I'm sorry. She makes me yawn. I don't like her writing style anyway. So yeah, nah, just nah. All right, next up. Now with this one, you could either be quite general, or you could be like to the point. So this is popular booktubers. That was the last question. Booktubers that you will not read. Watch. Oh my days. Sorry, let me start that one again. Rewind. Booktubers you will not watch. There we go. It's fine that time. So yeah, basically you can either like be honest and be like, look, this is the person. I don't want to watch him, or I don't want to watch her. Get your claws out. It's all good. I'm here. You know, let's spill that tea. Let's get the popcorn out. It's all good. However, if you don't want to be so full on, you can just make it more general and kind of say booktubers that, you know, the type of booktuber that you like to watch and that you won't watch, that kind of thing. So for me personally, I love watching booktubers who are just really genuine, that I can have some form of connection with through the screen. I like booktubers to be fun. I like them to, well, obviously talk about books. I like them to do lots of book hauls and book reviews, and just, you know, like just nice people who I just enjoy watching. And I don't have to have like big subscriber count or anything. In actual fact, if I'm honest, I prefer watching all types of YouTube channels with smaller subscribers, because I think, you know, like people who have got loads of subscribers, not all of them, can I just say? But a lot of them do have that kind of air of, I don't know, arrogance, or they don't reply to comments, and I don't know, I just don't feel connected to the massive channels. But I like watching people who, you know, you can tell are really passionate about what they're doing and they're reading, and you know, I get ideas from books that I want to read from them because we've got the same kind of interests of genres and stuff. So yeah, for me, that is, you know, people I like to watch. A few quick shout outs to channels that I love, like booktubers. Mini Book Chats is absolutely adorable. She's so sweet. I love her like video. She's just so lovely. Who else? Kit Kats Can Read. I've watched her for absolutely years. She's awesome. I love her little like TBR games and stuff. She's great. Lizzie Reads. Lizzie Reads is brilliant. I've been watching her so much lately, and she's just great. She does like little vlog style videos. Recently she's been doing like a series talking about romance books and kind of dissecting the books, talking about it. It's brilliant. So yeah, I mean, there are more that I watch obviously, but those are just a few that I'm mentioning. But yeah, just kind of natural nice people is what I like to watch. Booktubers that I will not watch are these kind of arrogant, kind of vain, the ones that only read, literally only read the popular on trend books. You know, they won't read anything else. They have to read anything that's literally on trend, brand new, or do you know what I mean? It's like they're not into it because they're into it. They're into it because they want to be part of this thing, and I don't connect with that. Fair enough if you read some popular books, I do as well. But like if it's just that, or the people who just do massive book hauls, and you think, are you really doing this because you really want to read all these books, or you just doing it to kind of show off? I don't know. Is what I kind of pick up from. And just, you know, the booktubers who won't reply to comments, the booktubers who just seem very cliquey as well. There's some that, you know, just very kind of, they stay with their clique and that's it. They won't talk to anyone else. I'm like, I don't know. That kind of thing I don't enjoy watching in booktube. Next question is bookshops you will not buy from. And this could be like a shop, like, you know, in the high street, or it could be online. So it's up to you how you answer this one. I'm being pretty flexible with these questions in the tag, right? So for me, I have to say I love Waterstones. I know people complain they're really expensive, and yeah, I suppose they are. You can get them cheaper, but I love Waterstones as a shop. I think, you know, I get on with a lot of the staff in the shop that I go regularly in Southend. I love the displays. I just like the vibe of being in Waterstones. The shop, I love the website. It's so easy to use. I've got an account with them, so everything's nice. It all, you know, I've got my little card and I get points, and I just, yeah. So yeah, you know, maybe could get the books cheaper, but I enjoy the whole experience and the quality of the service. And if ever I have had an issue with a book, like they've, you know, sent me one and it's got a little bit broken in the post or whatever, they replace it, or they'll give me some points as well. Like, they're just nice, and for me anyway, they're nice to deal with. Books that, like, shops that I won't buy from, so I'm going to go with the online thing here. We're going to go with eBay. And the reason certain ones on eBay, so basically there's some eBay sellers who sell books who, when you go through their feedback, it's like really bad. Like, people are saying like, never got the book, never received it, never got it, or was in a terrible state. If I, you know, think, oh, this book looks really cheap, but then I read all the feedback and it's like never received, I'm like, so those kind of eBay, it's not just books, like in general really, but I kind of keep away from those. There's not many bookshops in my kind of area. I think there's a little kind of local bookshop somewhere in the high street. I don't know if that's still open. I know it closed for a while. But I found them I know they always say support local and all that, but I just found them a little bit like overpriced, but not great service, and just a little bit kind of arrogant to deal with, like very like stuck up and that. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, next question is something you will not use to mark your page. So obviously I use a bookmark, or maybe it's not obviously, I don't know, but yeah, I use my bookmark. I've got the same bookmark that I use all the time. I do have others, but I tend to stick to the one at a time for like literally, well, sometimes either a year or so, until it gets proper like battered and I can't use it, and then I'm like but I don't chuck them. This is a little secret here. When my bookmarks get a bit ruined, instead of just throwing them away like normal people would, I keep them in a drawer. So I've got like 5 or 6 in a drawer that are literally falling apart. But I can't let them go because I'm a weirdo. So yeah, I use a bookmark. The things that I won't use, like food wrappers. I remember getting a library book once, and it had, obviously someone had like marked their page, but they'd use like an old food wrapper from like sweets or something. I don't know what, Skittles or whatever, I can't remember, but it was just really like, ooh, that was kind of gross. So yeah, I wouldn't put it like that. I've found so many different bookmarks. People like use for bookmarks in charity shop books, like bus tickets and receipts from their grocery shopping. Like, it's really random, but I'm just old school. I want a bookmark, proper bookmark. The next question is a place you will not read. So I will read if somewhere has a nice cozy vibe, if it's quiet. That's the main thing for me. It's got to be quiet. I've got to feel comfortable. I like to sit somewhere where I can relax, feel comfortable, feel in that zone of reading, and yeah, it's just nice and quiet. I don't like reading when there's noise or music or it's like busy, you know. So if it's like a, I don't know, quiet little cafe in a corner, lovely, or you know, I don't know, in a park where it's nice and quiet in a little corner. There's always little corners for me. But yeah, just quiet places which feel cozy, and not too loud. A place that I will not read is pretty much what I just kind of said. Like, I don't want to read anywhere where it's too loud. Like if it's a busy cafe or bar or whatever place I'm going to go and it's really loud. Why did I say a bar? I'm not going to go to a bar. But you know, anywhere that's really loud, or certain cafes that I've been in actually have played like really loud music and I'm like, oh, I like it in here, but I can't read in here because the music just puts me off, because I end up just sitting there singing along to the song in my head instead of, you know, taking in the words of the story. So that's that one. Next one is a film based on a book you will not watch. So for me, like, this is really random, but I like watching films that are based from books, and also series as well that are based on books. But I don't like I don't like watching a film that has been done on one of my favourite series. For example, well, there's been a few actually, but one of them was Beautiful Creatures. The book series was amazing. The film was just but the main one that I hated was the Mortal Instruments movie. It was terrible. And as I say, huge fan of Mortal Instruments, love them. But the film, it didn't even kind of go along with the story. The characters didn't feel right. It was just awful. It was just terrible. I'm sorry. So I will not watch a film now that is based on one of my favourite kind of books, because I think I'm just worried that they're going to ruin my perception of it being so amazing. Apparently one day there will be a Night Circus film. They've been saying that for like, you know, years, but apparently there are rights for them to be a film of it, and I'm really worried because I love the Night Circus. It's my life. No, it's my favourite book of all time. I'm just like, oh my god, don't ruin the Night Circus, please. So that kind of worries me. Films that I will watch that are based on books are when they're I don't know, kind of standalones that like I haven't read. For example, I watched a film, I can't remember what it was on Amazon the other day. It's a romance, and it was a book that I hadn't read yet, so I've got no kind of preconception, is that the word, preconception, of what it's going to, you know, it's nothing for me to be ruined from the book because I haven't read the book. So that kind of thing, I'm quite open. And then sometimes after the film I think, oh, I want to read the book of it now to see if it's similar, but yeah, okay. Right, next question is a person you will and will not lend a book to. So the person I would be 100% open to lending a book is my lovely fiance Nathan, who's next door. But the thing is, he wouldn't read any of my books because he's got totally different interests than me. He likes sci-fi and stuff, fantasy, so it's not really. Yeah, I don't think he's going to want to read any of my YAs or stuff. But I would be completely open to him going, here you go, borrow this book, because, you know, he's in the same house. But the person or people I wouldn't lend a book to is pretty much anyone else, which sounds awful. But I just worry that and this has happened before, they'll lose the book or they'll forget about it and I have to keep asking, oh, have you got my book? Have you got my book? That kind of thing. So I'll be honest, I don't tend to lend any books out. I'll say to someone, oh, that book's really, really good, you should read it. And they're like, oh, have you got it? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, can I borrow it? And I'm like, no, sorry, I'm going to reread it again next week. I'm not going to reread it. I just don't want to give it out. That sounds really cruel. But I don't know, I'm just paranoid and I don't want to have them lose it or have to keep begging them to get it back. All right, next question is a book you will and will not reread. Oh, this is a tricky one. So I wouldn't read, like I will not read a thriller again, pretty much, because I know what's going to happen. And for me, like the thing with a thriller is it's very twisty, it's very, you know, like messing your head up, you don't know who's who, what's gone on. But once you know the answer, it's kind of a bit like, well, why do I want to read a thriller again? Because I know what happened. Like, I don't know. I can't explain it. I know that is the same with any reread, you know what's going to happen. But I think with the thriller, it kind of stays with me more. Whereas with certain fantasies, I would reread again. So, yeah, it's like I bought recently in a charity shop, I got the Shiver trilogy. Shiver, Linger and Forever, I think it is. And I read that absolutely years and years ago, like literally years ago. They're probably one of the first like trilogies that I'd read actually. And I loved it. And I found it recently. I bought them for like £1 each. And I want to reread that again because I can't remember much, or if not sort of anything about it, apart from the fact that I was obsessed with it and loved it. So part of me wants to reread it because I want to see, do I still love it as much, or have I kind of grown away from it? And also, do I still like remember anything from these characters and the story from all those years ago? So those kind of books I would reread, like fantasies and but the books like, you know, you just know what happened. Like I just, you know, I mean, some people say they enjoy reading rereading thrillers because even though they know what happened, who's the baddie or whatever, they like kind of sussing out if they would have worked out the clue, like to go back on those clues, knowing who the murderer is or whatever. So I do get that. But for me, I'm just like, no, if I know who the murderer was or whatever, I don't need to read it again. Okay. And the last question, you'll be pleased to know, hope you're still awake, is a type of book format that you will not read, i.e., you know, you've got audiobooks, you've got ebooks, you've got physical books, that kind of thing. Okay. So for me, I will read a physical book. To be fair, that is the only type of book I read and that I want to read. A while back, a few years ago, I was tempted to get a Kindle because people like raving about them, and I did like the idea of it, of like holding it and be like, and I you know, I do get the attraction of them, especially if you're like traveling and it's, you know, you don't want to take like loads of books with you in your bag. You can just sit there. I totally get that. But for me personally, I'm very old school. I like the feel of holding a book, turning the pages. Like it feels right to me. It'd feel weird. It'd be like, I don't know, reading off my phone or something. So yeah, I would say physical. However, I say that's the only type of book I read, but lately I have got into my audiobooks quite a lot, which I'm really happy about. I literally about 2 weeks ago signed up to Audible, and yeah, I'm quite enjoying that. So I don't listen to them as much as I would read my physical copy, but I like having the audiobook when I'm on a walk or if I'm like in the bath, just doing the housework, just listen to it bit by bit, really. But yeah, the main thing I like is physical book. So yeah, the book that I will, well, the book format that I will not read is as I say, the ebook, because it just feels like reading a phone. And Nathan said that he used to read stories like books and stuff on a laptop, and you know, like I wouldn't like that either, because that just be looking at the screen for me. So anyway, I just prefer looking at paper, basically. So there you go. That is my tag. What I'll do down below is put all the questions that I've blabbered on about here down below in the description box and in the comments section, so it'll be easier for you to find if you want to do this tag and you don't want to listen to me rambling on. I totally get it. Maybe you do want to listen to me ramble on, I don't know, but listen, if you want to do it, please do. I hate watching people's book tags they do, and they just like, they tag like 3 people, which, you know, is fair enough, but it's like, what about anyone else who thinks, oh, that's a good tag, I want to do it? You kind of feel a bit awkward because you're like, well, I'm not going to ask, you know, can I do this as well? I have done that a few times, and people just, well, I've had mixed reactions. Some people comment back going, oh yeah, that'd be great, love you to do it as well, and other people just completely ignore you. And then I'm like, okay, well, if you've ignored me, it's probably best that I don't do your tag, because I'm just going to feel really awkward about it. So I literally I'm tagging anyone and everyone. Like, literally, if you want to do this tag, you are officially tagged. I'm not going to tag individual people. You're just, everyone's tagged. I want everyone to feel inclusive here on the channel and the tag and stuff. But as I say, you know, please give a little mention to this video and my channel and stuff. That'd be great. If you do a video of this tag, put your answers down below. Sorry, put your video down. Put your link to the video down below with your answers in, so I can come and watch. And yeah, I'm really intrigued to find out what, you know, people answer to my tag questions. Anyway, thank you for watching. Let me know what you're currently reading as well in the comments section. I love knowing what people are reading and if you're enjoying it or not. My current book is The Monarchs by Cass Morgan and Daniel, I can't remember page, is it? So that is the sequel to The Ravens, which, oh my God, I love The Ravens so much. If you're into YA, if you're into witches, check it out. Honestly, I loved it. It was so much fun. So that was The Ravens. This is the sequel, The Monarchs. So that's my current read. I'm nearly halfway, so I'm thoroughly enjoying this one as well. Did there really need to be a sequel? Probably not, but there is, and I'm all for it because I like the characters. So anyway, thank you for reading. If you want thank you for watching. I'm not with it, sorry. Thank you for watching. Happy reading. There we go. And if you want to follow me on Goodreads, please do. I'll put the link down below to my Goodreads page. Also my social media, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, etc. So there we go. Hopefully my answers didn't offend anybody. I always say this, we've all got our own, you know, views and opinions and likes and dislikes. And if we all liked the same and thought the same, it would be a pretty boring place, right? Right. Okay, everyone. Thank you for watching and hope you enjoyed my will not book tag. Peace. Bye.